Section 34 of Uncle Josh's Punkin Center Stories by Cal Stewart. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Philip Martin. Uncle Josh at a Circus. Well, long last year, about harvest time, there was a circus come to Punkin Center, and I think the whole population turned out to see it. They come parading into town, the bands a-playin' and banners flyin' and animals poking their heads out of the cages and all sorts of gimcracks. Deacon Witherspoon said they was a sinful lot of men and women and no one ought to go and see them. But seeing as how they was there, he allowed he'd take the children and let them see the lions and tigers and things. Cy Pettingill remarked, "Guess the deacon won't put blinders on himself when he gets there." We noticed afterwards that the deacon had a front seat where he could see and hear pretty well. Well, I said to Ezra Hoskins, "Let's you and me go down to the circus." And Ezra said, "All right, Joshua." So we got on our store clothes, our new boots, and put some money in our pockets and went down to the circus. Well, I never seen anyone in my life cut up more fool capers than Ezra did. We got in where the animals was, and Ezra he walked around the elephant 3 or 4 times, and then he said, "By gum, Josh, that's a dern handy critter. He's got 2 tails, and he's eating with one and keeping the flies off with t'other. Derned old fool." Well, we went on a little ways further, and all at once Ezra he said, "Gee whiz, Josh, there's Steve Jenkins over there in one of them cages." I said, "Come along, you silly fool, that ain't Steve Jenkins." Ezra said, "Well, now, guess I'd oughter know Steve Jenkins when I see him. I just about pretty near raised Steve." Well, we went over to the cage, and it warn't no man at all, nothing only a derned old baboon. And Ezra wanted to shake hands with him just 'cause he looked like Steve. Ezra said he'd bet a peck of pippins that baboon belonged to Steve's family a long ways back. Well, then we went into where they was having the circus doings, and I guess us 2 old codgers just about busted our buttons a-laughing at that silly old clown. Well, he cut up a lot of didos, then he went out and sot down right alongside of Aunt Nancy Smith, and Nancy she'd like to have had hysterics. She said, "You go away from me, you painted critter," and that clown he just up and yelled to beat thunder. Said Nancy stuck a pin in him. Well, everybody laughed, and Nancy she just sot and giggled right out. Well, they brought a trick mule into the ring, and the ringmaster said he'd give anyone $5 what could ride the mule. And Reuben Hoskins allowed he could ride anything with 4 legs what had hair on. So he got into the ring, and that mule he took after Reuben and chased him round that ring so fast Reuben could see himself going round t'other side of the ring. He was mighty glad to get out of there. Then a gal come out on horseback and commenced riding around. Nancy Smith said she was a brazen critter to come out there without clothes enough on her to dust a fiddle. But Deacon Witherspoon said that was the art of questionism, and we all allowed it, whatever he meant. And then that silly old clown he told the ringmaster that his uncle committed suicide different than any man what ever committed suicide. And the ringmaster said, "Well now, how did your uncle commit suicide?" And that silly old clown said, "Why, he put his nose in his ear and blowed his head off." Then he sang an old-fashioned song I hadn't heard in a long time. Went something like this. From Whittletown to Wattletown is 15 miles. From Wattletown to Whittletown is 15 miles. From Whittletown to Wattletown, from Wattletown to Whittletown. Take it all together and it's 15 miles. He was about the silliest cuss I ever seen. Well, I noticed a feller rummaging around among the benches as though he might have lost something. So I said to him, "Mister, did you lose anything round here any place?" He said, "Yes, sir, I lost a $10 bill. If you find it, I'll give you $2. Well, I just made up my mind he was one of them circus sharpers, and when he warn't looking, I pulled a $10 bill out of my pocket and gave it to him, and the darn fool didn't know but what it was the same one that he lost. Gosh, I just fooled him out of his $2 slicker'n a whistle. I tell you, Circus Day is a great time in Punkin Center. End of Uncle Josh at a Circus.